Hi everyone, this is Marcia. Welcome back to my channel. We're going to work with beads today. We're going to do a little bead weaving project. Before we get into the project though, I really want to say thank you to all of the new subscribers on this channel. I believe it was 206 the last time I looked, and that is way up from just a couple of weeks ago. So my sincere thanks to all of you. There are so many of these types of videos, these channels out on YouTube, that to have you stop by and subscribe to this one, it really does mean a lot. I really do appreciate it. And my last video, it has over 1,000 views. I don't know what's happening, but we're doing something right. So anyway, like I said, we've got some beads to work with, and I'm going to do, I think, a bead weaving project. Of course, the beads, all of these were found in a jewelry jar. A lot of these were in jewelry jars. These, at one point, I bought several, quite a few bags of just beads at the Value Village, and I still have a lot of them left. These are natural gemstones. You think I would have, maybe before this airs, I'll find out which one this is. And anyway, these small beads, they're all gemstones. And this one, this is a bracelet, of course, found in a jewelry jar. This is plastic. And maybe some rose quartz, clear quartz. I don't like the metal findings and the pink beads with this, but I like these beads. So we're going to take this thing apart. We're going to incorporate the gemstone beads into a project, and we're going to work with these. So I have the beads. Well, let's get into the materials. You're going to need a thread of your choice. I'm using Wildfire. I have two different colors here. I have a green, which I thought might go good with the grays, and the white, of course, if I'm using this. But the green also, they say it just kind of blends in as you go along, so I might be using it for this as well. But we'll see. And you need a bead needle. You need a needle for your thread. This is, I believe, a size 10. We're not working with real small beads, so I think we'll get by with this. And I have a stop bead here. So the first thing we are going to do is take these beads off the string so we can work with them. Do I have my scissors here? I do not. I need to go get my scissors. These are not the scissors I normally use, but they'll work for now. So you'll need scissors as well. Let's get this off to the side. And we're just going to, this is on that fishing line, we're just going to snip that so we can pick out the beads that we want. There's one on this strand that is broken, so we definitely won't be using that one. Put that off to the side. And I'm going to take them all off. I'm going to save that string because what I don't use I might put back on there to store. But I take them all off because I never know which ones I would actually like to work with. And those, I'm going to get a couple containers to put these in. I hope everyone's having a good day. I don't think I said that. So let's go ahead and snip this. And I've mentioned this on my other channel. I don't know if I have here. You know, this channel is all about repurposing. And one of the ways I like to repurpose is these little containers. They come with Greek yogurt, which I don't buy as much anymore. But I still like the containers. So anyway, I'm going to take all of these beads. It's not coming through like I thought they would. There we go. That's a little better. And I will put them in probably a bag. Oh, that's because there's a knot on that end. I don't know if y'all saw that. This is like watching paint dry, so I will probably fast forward through this. I know I fast forward a lot, and I apologize if doing that makes someone dizzy. I'm trying really hard to do better with my editing and staying in focus and all of that. But you know, when I'm focused on the project, sometimes I fail to see what you all are saying, and my apologies for that. But anyway, so we've got those gray beads, and not sure. I do think I like those. Although this one has, they look gray to me, but they also look like they have like a slightly purple hue. So maybe we won't use these. I don't know. We won't open them up right now. So let me go ahead and continue breaking this stuff down and determine which beads I want to use and how I want to use them. I'm going to thread my needle with some thread as well, probably a wingspan, and then we'll get started with this project. Okay. I went ahead, I broke apart that bracelet. And like I said, this one just has a plastic cab in there, cabochon. I suppose it's okay, but I didn't want it for this project. And these are cute. You know, I like the scroll work on them. But anyway, this was part of the bracelets that we're not going to use. I am not going to be using these, I don't think, today. I broke apart, like I said, I broke apart and cleaned these beads. They were filthy. As most of the jewelry that comes out of these jars. They really did need a good bath. And I used the white. Decided to go with the white because I'm using these beads. But anyway, we've got these, and I'll have to sort out the ones I want as I go along. But we'll throw some out there. I won't be using the seed beads, just the crystal beads. As I was saying, I do go off on my subjects here. I put a wingspan of the white wildfire, this thread, on my needle, which is a size 10. I'm going to add a stop bead. Put that down. I'm going to leave maybe 6 to 8 inches because I might add thread to put the clasp on later. You know, I wing it. I haven't done one of these. If I had done one of these and had like a pattern or an exact way to follow, it would be different. But anyway, this is what we're going to do. I apologize for this shadow. I don't know what I could do to make it any differently. I've got all the lights on. Anyway, this is the bead I decided to use because it has this matrix. Some of the other ones are just, you know, it has variance of color. That one's pretty neat. But anyway, this one was the only one like this, and it's not like I could make a pair of earrings out of it or anything by having a match. So we did this. Like I said, we're probably going to have to add more thread, so I'm going to start. I'm going to have this as my focal. This will be, and we're doing a bracelet, as my focal. And I am going to use the gray beads in combination with the clear, these quartz. I'm pretty sure they are quartz chips here. Okay, let's try it. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and pick up a 4mm bead with the, it's not a cabochon, with the large. And I'm going to go ahead and add this. Like I said, we're going to be working on one side, then I'll go back and do the other side. So we start with that. I'm going to add 2 more beads, I think, to this side. No, I'm not. I'm going to add the chips. Let's do, and find the center of these beads, or the hole. Whoop, had it and lost it. Let's do that, and then let's do a pink. And then we'll do another clear. Do that. And then I'll do another gray bead. Well, it's not actually gray, it's actually pink and gray. It might be this same. I haven't looked that up yet. I'll look it up and put it on the screen when I do the editing. Okay, we'll do that. And then we'll do this process again. And I don't know if they're just clear or just not as pink. I like this one. If I could find the hole. Found it! And I like that one. So let's find the hole on this. That, and then another clear. Oh, that looks like the hole, but I'm not sure. I might be changing to a size 12 beading needle because I'm going to have to go back through these, I think. But we'll see. I may or may not have to go back through them. So I'm going to have to get a ruler. And if I take, I think we need 2 more sections of this. Oh, that's too close to the edge. I don't like that one. That's better. And a pink, like that one. I can't find the hole on that. I apologize for my hands being in the way there. Okay, don't do that. Don't nut on me. Clear. So what I'm doing with the ruler is I'm taking approximately the center of this bead, and I'm going to go 3 inches out on this side and 3 inches out on this side. And I think that should be pretty good, a pretty good length, minus the clasp that I'm going to use. Normally you go, depending on the clasp, it could be a half to an inch. So I think that'll be fine. So I have 2 choices for clasp. I pulled a couple bracelets out of my stash. I have a big lobster claw, which would work fine. But my original thought was to go with a toggle clasp. And this one looks pretty good. It looks like a good quality. It could even be stainless. So I think I'm going to take this one off this chain and incorporate this one. So basically the only thing that I am adding to this project is the thread. Everything else came out of a jewelry jar. Let me get my pliers. I can remove this jump ring so I can get the clasp off. I'm just twisting the jump ring to remove it, and I might need jump rings, I might not. We've got this for another project. Alrighty. I think I'm going to make one small change. I think I'm going to cut, not cut literally, but I'm going to divide my string in half so I can have enough, hopefully, to work this other end without adding thread. But I'm going to be working back. I might still need to add thread, but let's see, approximately. And all I'm doing is taking my tail end, without getting it caught up, my tail end, let's say to the tip, because that's about how much play I have. And I'm just going to work, like I said, that stop bead is movable. It stops it, but if you need to move it, you can. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Just keep moving it down. Might be a little too much. I'm going to just do that. That's approximate. So I've got about half of my thread on the tail end that I can thread a needle on and work the other side when I'm done this side. So we've got this. And like I said, let's see if I add the clasp. That might be too much. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to put my needle through that and then come back down all of, well no, just come back down this first bead. Move these out of the way. So I have that clasp on. I think I want to bulk this up a little bit. That's cute, but we need to bulk this because of this piece. Do I want to add beads across here? This bead? Or do I want to add more of these? That is the question. Let's see what adding some more of these chip beads would look like. And since I did clear, pink, clear, I think I'll do pink, clear, pink this time. Clear, and another pink. And then I'm going to come down through this other gray bead. Like I always say, we can do it. If we don't like it, we can take it apart and do it again. I know, it seems like a waste. Okay, I don't like that. I might have to end up using some that I don't like just because we might run out of beads. Alrighty, here's this one. Here's a clear one. If I can find the hole. And another pink one. And then we're going to come back through this gray bead. And this is what it's going to start looking like. So we're going to continue that a couple more times. Okay, somewhere there's a hole here. There we go. These light colors are kind of hard to see. Don't want anything real chunky. There's a lot of chunky beads though here. Soft color. I'm so glad I cleaned these. They were really dirty. I could see that they were dirty, but it makes a difference. And like I said, it's better to do it before you do your stringing. Okay. So I'm liking this. Yeah, I like this. Okay, I'm through that bead, so we're going to do that one more time. chunky one. Oops. Then I'm going to go through this one, and then I think I'm going to go through the bead. Let me not go through that big bead yet. Let me just see what I got. I don't know. What do you think? This is what it's looking like. And that just gives it, it widens this section so it balances out this larger bead. Well, I am going to go ahead and, I don't know if I want to add any more beads. That's the question here, if I do want to add beads. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and go through this bead and start working this side to use this thread up, doing the same thing that I did here. And then I can use this if I need any more on this end and to reinforce it, because I do want to go back through here and I don't have a turnaround point just yet. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back through this. Uh-oh, don't get your thread caught up. Turn this around. I have a little bit of thread showing, but it's not that much. And once I reinforce it, I think it will be, it'll tighten it up so it won't be as noticeable. So, why did I turn that? I'm going to turn that back. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the other side. And when I get to the clasp, I will come back and I'll do the clasp on camera. But anyway, I'm just going to mirror this side on this side. You know, I'm going to do the exact same thing, adding a bead, and so on and so forth. And then we're going to reinforce the piece, cut off the threads, work them in, and hopefully it will be a nice wearable piece at the end. So see you in a few. All right, still have that tail thread. We're going to use this because actually I have to reinforce this. But anyway, I've gotten to the point where I have done my first pass with the chip beads, doing the clear, pink, clear, and I've ended just the way I've ended here. I'm going to go ahead and put this clasp on. I don't think, let me make sure, I'm going to put this on and then I'm going to make sure I can get it through the ring without having to add any additional beads. So let me go ahead, go through this bead and hold it, make sure I'm not going to have any issues. No, I do not have any issues, so we're going to take that apart. Now this is turning out to be about a 7-inch bracelet, which is a little bigger than I normally like a bracelet. But this has, get out of my way, but this has some bulk because of these beads. So I'm thinking that will take up some slack. So we've gotten to this point. I'm going to go ahead and come back down with my second row of the chip beads using the pink, clear pink. And come on all the way down here. And I'm going to work my way back up to this, going through one side. Since I started with the clear, I'm going to, when I get to this point, I'm just going to go through the beads that start with the clear, pink, clear, and work my way back up to here. And then if I have any thread left over, I'm going to come back down on the pink, clear, pink side. I hope that made sense. Alrighty. So I'm going to stop this, stop the camera, and I'm going to continue working on my own. I think it should be pretty clear to you. what I'm doing, and I'll get to a point where I'll come back and finish up with you, or finish up the bracelet. And I'll get to a stopping point, or when I run out of thread, whichever comes first. But I'll be back to share the results with you. Okay, I'm not totally finished, but I did want to come back on to just show you that I did finish the one side. I came back through all of the beads, starting with, well, it didn't matter which side I started with, but I started to keep it clear in my mind so I know I wouldn't go back through the same ones. The clear, the pink, the clear. Went all the way up, attached again to the toggle, the ring, and then I came back on the other side, coming back down here, and I didn't get all the way through. I think I got a third pass with my thread. If you can see the 3 layers, come on, focus, the 3 layers of thread on that ring. And then, losing my ruler, got back down. I did a couple, actually coming back up, I did 2 or 3 half hitch knots and then come back around. So that should hold it pretty good. But I'm just wanted to share that I'm on the other side, actually where we started with the tail thread. So I'm just going to pass my needle back, through that bead so I can remove it and continue reinforcing this side, and hopefully I'll get a couple passes here, because we do want the clasp to be secure. And if I thought it wasn't secure enough, if I didn't have enough thread to pass through it all again, I would start another thread and go through that to make sure there was at least 3 layers of thread holding that clasp on, because that gets worked a lot. You're putting it on, taking it off. So anyway, let me finish that and come back and I'll show you the finished product, or should I say finished project. One more thing before I continue, I just wanted to remind you that as you come through these 3 crystal beads, the chip beads, don't forget to pass through that center bead as well. But if you don't do that and you go right from these 3 to these 3, you're going to have a big section of thread showing. So you always want to pass through that center bead before you move on, like I'm doing here. Move on to the thread's getting caught. And then after you exit that 3rd chip bead, always come back through that 4mm center bead. Okay, so let me finish up, get my thread worked in, and I'll be back. Okay, I am just about finished here, but I did want to come back on and show you. Like I said, make sure you go through that center bead, this gray bead that I'm working with, going up one side, going through, and I have made 3 passes. You see the 3 strands of thread, and I'm working my way back down. But I wanted to show you, when I talk about half hitch knots, you just take your thread or your needle under the thread that is passing through, and please don't get caught up on the other end, which it does happen, so just be careful. Okay. Actually, I'm already in, but I'm going to undo that so you can see. You get a loop there, and then you pass your needle back through before you close it up completely. And give that a tug and make it snug. And then go through some more beads. Oh, it's getting tight in there. And they're chip beads, you know, they're at a weird angle. But anyway, you never cut your thread at a knot area. So I'm going to just continue got quite a bit of thread left over. And I think these beads are rhodonite. I think these are too, because there's some pink in there. I'm not 100% sure about this one, but I think this may be a rhodonite. Any of you people that know gems that might be able to tell me whether or not I'm right, or steer me in the right direction, I would appreciate it. So anyway, I'm just going to continue working a little bit more, tying a couple more knots, and then come back and look at the bracelet. Well, here we are. We've got a finished bracelet. I don't know. It looks kind of summery, but some of the grays, they could be worn in the wintertime as well, I suppose. Turned out rather well, and it's a pretty good fit. Because there is some chunkiness to this, I think it's just fine. And I think it did turn out to be 7. Actually a little over. Well, if you measure where the toggle goes, even though the end of this is about a 7 1/4, the toggle fits right in the center. So technically a 7-inch, I would suppose. So I'm pleased with this. I didn't have to do it too many times. No. It's a little different from what I originally thought I would do with these beads, but all in all, I think they turned out pretty good. I'm glad that I went with all of the gemstone beads and not added any glass beads or any other type of beads. Kept it real. So, like I said, everything except for the wildfire beading thread was found in a jewelry jar. So, got a little bead weaving project in. I hope you enjoyed this content. If you do like projects like this and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Hit that bell for notifications so when I do post, you will be notified and you'll know to come to watch. But I'm sure you all know that. But that's the project for this week. So we'll see. Maybe we'll use up some more of these beads on another project. Oh, we definitely will, but whether it be next week or not, I don't know. And I'm going on and on about nothing. So until that next video, you all take care. Bye-bye.